Imagine this. You're standing face to face with the girl you've had your eye on. Your heart's racing. Your mind is racing. And you're wondering, how can you get her number, her contact info, or even just a chance to talk to her more? Well, today's video is going to reveal the game-changing technique that will have you confidently approaching her and walking away with her number. No sweat. This isn't just any tip. It's the foolproof method that guarantees a positive response, no matter who she is. So if you're ready to take your chances and make your move, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive in, because this is the skill every guy needs to know. As we explored earlier in this series on attracting women, one of the most crucial factors is staying calm in any situation. When you're relaxed before approaching someone, things tend to go smoothly. However, if you're feeling nervous, your lack of confidence can easily become apparent, which often leads to rejection. For those who have never been to a club or approached women in social environments, getting into the right mindset can be challenging. The mere thought of approaching a woman may trigger anxiety. The most effective way to overcome this fear is by taking action. So, is it time to go out and start approaching women? Yes, but you should begin with small steps. Don't dive into full conversations just yet. Start by approaching 10 women every day and simply ask them for the time. That's it. Make sure you're not wearing a watch. And if you have a cell phone, turn it off. This seemingly simple exercise can significantly boost your confidence. After a few days, you'll notice that you're feeling much more comfortable. Set personal goals and create a plan that works for you. Choose the right places to practice. Asking for the time in nightclubs might not be the best choice. Instead, opt for quieter locations like parks, malls, or coffee shops. Doing this exercise just before you plan to engage in longer conversations can also help build confidence. It allows you to feel more at ease with approaching women and having a target in mind, meaning a woman you'd like to speak with. For those new to approaching women, it's a good idea to steer clear of nightclubs initially. Approaching women in such an environment with little experience may leave you feeling discouraged. A common mistake many men make is attempting to meet women at bars or clubs, experiencing rejection, and then feeling disheartened. The problems with nightclubs are numerous: intense competition, as many other men are trying to do the same thing, defensive attitudes from women who are frequently approached, and loud music that makes it difficult to have a meaningful conversation. Instead, consider venues that are more suited for beginners. Activities like yoga, salsa dancing, or aerobics classes are great places to meet women. These environments often have more women than men, giving you more opportunities to practice without much competition. Other ideal spots include restaurants, coffee shops, public libraries, or malls. With a bit of thought, you'll realize there are plenty of places to practice your skills. Once you've selected a location, find a woman you'd like to approach. This is your target. Approaching a woman in a group can be trickier than approaching someone who's alone. But don't stress too much about that. Simply choose someone you'd like to talk to. Here's a crucial tip. Approach within 5 seconds of deciding to do so. Why? Because the longer you wait, the more likely your brain will generate reasons not to go through with it. You'll talk yourself out of it, allowing insecurities to take over. The more you hesitate, the more nervous you'll become, and you might even chicken out completely. Now, let's move on to one of the most vital steps of today's discussion. Do you know why so many guys get turned down when they first approach a woman? It's because they don't know how to approach her in the right way. Let's look at a typical example. What would an average guy do when he wants to approach a girl? He might stare at her for a while, then walk up to her, and as soon as he reaches her, he says something like, "Hi, I'm Fred. Can I buy you a drink?" The woman, in response, says, "My boyfriend is over there," and Fred awkwardly walks away. Now, did she really have a boyfriend? Maybe, maybe not, but it was certainly a good excuse to get rid of Fred. Women who frequently go out are approached by countless men like this, and none of these approaches are likely to succeed. Why? Because women are hardwired to turn down approaches like these. In fact, they'll often assume that any man who approaches in this manner is only looking for something casual, like a one-night fling. The situation gets even worse with men who have a collection of clever pickup lines, thinking that using them will guarantee success. But here's the truth. These are the guys who get rejected the most. The key to successfully approaching a woman is creating a sense of comfort in her presence before anything else. Why is this so important? Because when you try too hard to impress her or get something from her, she'll pick up on that energy right away. She'll sense that you're up to something, which immediately triggers her defense mechanisms. She'll put up a wall, and before you know it, you'll be scrambling to figure out how to escape the situation. Therefore, it's essential to make her feel comfortable in your presence, without any pressure. Only then can you build genuine rapport and increase your chances of success. So, how exactly does one approach a woman successfully? First and foremost, you need to focus on how you approach her. There are some key principles that can make all the difference when it comes to your success. Here are the most important things to keep in mind. Never approach her head-on where she can see you coming. This is a common mistake many beginners make. If a woman can see you heading directly toward her, she will likely put up her defenses before you even speak. This instinctual reaction happens because she knows you're coming for her, and it makes her feel uncomfortable. So, avoid walking straight toward her, as it creates an immediate sense of pressure. Never approach from behind. This is another mistake many guys make, often without realizing how uncomfortable it is for women. Approaching from behind by tapping her on the shoulder or suddenly starting a conversation without warning will often startle her. This can trigger a defensive reaction and make her want to avoid you. It's important to remember that approaching from behind can completely derail your chances with women. So steer clear of this approach at all costs. The best approach, from the side. The most effective way to approach a woman is to come at her from the side. This method is not only less intimidating, but it also ensures she doesn't see you coming, meaning she's less likely to put up a defensive wall. The key here is subtlety. One approach is to walk past her, slightly tilt your head in her direction, and then start the conversation. Keep your chest facing forward and talk over your shoulder. This relaxed, non-threatening posture will help her feel comfortable and less guarded. Once you've made the approach, the next challenge is starting the conversation. This is the most crucial part of the interaction. So, how do you begin? As we've already discussed, direct approaches rarely work. If you walk up to her and immediately start complimenting her or hitting on her, you're likely to get a negative reaction. The key to starting a successful conversation is to act in a way that shows you're not trying to pick her up. You want her to feel comfortable and unpressured. Here's an opener I often use that works well. Pretend you're talking to someone on the phone. As you spot the woman you want to approach, walk past her, then pause and look over your shoulder. Hold your phone next to your ear and say something like, "Oh, here's someone. Let me ask her." Then, say something like, "My friend here on the phone says that women lie more than men. Do you agree?" If she responds, "No, I think men lie more," you can quickly end the conversation by saying, "I'm in a hurry, but my friend always says not to trust anything a woman says. Half the time she's lying." At this point, you're giving her something to disagree with, which opens the door to a natural back and forth. You can then casually add, "Yeah, I guess it's not true for all women," and you've started your conversation. It's also essential to mention that you're in a rush and need to go. Why? Because telling her you're in a hurry actually works in your favor. It lowers her defenses by making her realize you're not sticking around for a long conversation. And it also increases your perceived value. You're demonstrating that you're busy and confident, not desperate or overbearing. Now, a word of caution. Some guys rely too heavily on pre-planned lines or canned openers, thinking they will work in every situation. The truth is, canned openers might work in some cases, but they often fall flat because they don't take the context or the woman's current situation into account. For instance, I've seen many guys rush up to a random girl and ask, "Do women lie more than men?" only to receive no response or even a brush off. Why does this happen? Because they fail to observe what the woman is doing when they approach her. Approaching without considering her environment and mood is a major mistake. The best conversations happen when you're natural and spontaneous. Take this example. You're at a restaurant and notice an attractive woman sitting alone. instead of launching into a memorized line. A more organic approach might be, "Hey, what are you eating?" When she responds, "Oh, it's XYZ dish." You could say, "I'm new here and can't decide what to order. Should I try that dish? Or is there something else you'd recommend?" This creates a smooth and effortless conversation that doesn't feel forced or rehearsed. You're simply engaging with her in a way that feels natural and engaging, which is far more likely to lead to a meaningful interaction. By being observant, using non-threatening body language, and starting conversations naturally, you create an environment where the woman feels comfortable and engaged. The more you practice this approach, the easier it becomes to build genuine connections. A common question many guys have is, what if I'm in a neutral environment and can't really find anything to comment on or open with? In this situation, you can observe what she's wearing and make a comment about it. Here's an example. That's a pretty interesting bracelet you have on. What's the story behind that? Her, she gives a response. Yeah, it really caught my attention. That's why I had to ask. By the way, I'm John. Her, hi, I'm Jen. As you can see, this is a simple and effective way to start a conversation. You're engaging her in a way that doesn't feel forced, and it's a natural way to break the ice. Another great way to open a conversation is to make a guess instead of asking a question. This approach works wonders because it triggers curiosity. Rather than asking, "Asterisk, what do you do?" Asterisk or asterisk, "Where are you from?" Asterisk, try guessing. For example, are you from California? Her, asterisk, huh? No. What makes you say that? Asterisk, well, you have that Californian vibe about you. Her, asterisk, huh? What do you mean? Asterisk, well, look at how you're dressed. I have a friend who dresses just like you, and she's from California too. All you California girls seem to dress like Barbie dolls. Why is that? This opens the conversation in a fun, lighthearted way. It's about making assumptions that prompt her to ask asterisk, "Why do you say that?" Asterisk, which naturally keeps the conversation flowing. Remember, it doesn't really matter exactly what you guess, as long as it's playful and leads to a response that keeps the conversation going. And by the way, if this video gets 4.000 likes, I'll be leaving a document in the first comment with 26 examples of openers you can use. This is useful because a lot of guys get stuck after the initial opener, unsure of what to say next. This is where many encounters falter after the initial exchange. There's often that awkward silence where the girl might think, asterisk, "Okay, what's going on here?" Asterisk, this part is tough, especially when you're dealing with an attractive woman. It's easy to start a conversation, but the challenge lies in maintaining her interest and transitioning it into something more. To truly engage her, you need to spark emotional attraction. This isn't about just making small talk. If you want to go deeper, you need to apply the techniques you've learned throughout this series. The qualifying technique, listening like a therapist, using body language effectively, the push and pull method, creating a sense of mystery, sharing just enough to leave her wanting more, and so on. These techniques will help you go beyond casual conversation and into more meaningful, attraction-building territory. But there's one technique I haven't covered yet, and I want you to pay very close attention to this. Talk to your target's friends more than you talk to her. This technique works wonders, especially when you're approaching women in groups. Most guys make the mistake of focusing all their attention on the woman they're interested in, which actually works against them. It makes it too obvious that you're interested in her, and she can sense it. Instead, you should engage with her friends more. This will cause the woman you're targeting to feel a bit jealous and curious. Since you're not showering her with all your attention, she'll start to wonder why you're not focusing on her. And that curiosity will work in your favor. Here's an example. Suppose you're with a group of girls. You could say something like, "Hey, are they your friends?" She'll respond, "Yes, they are." You can then say, "Be a good girl and introduce me." Chances are, she'll introduce you to her friends. Once that happens, immediately start engaging with one of her friends and avoid talking to her for a few minutes. What you'll see is your target beginning to work harder to get your attention, and this curiosity will make her more interested in you. The key here is to create a bit of mystery and make her feel like she has to earn your attention. This builds intrigue and makes her more likely to want to know more about you. Physical touch is an incredibly important aspect of building attraction with a woman. While words alone can make an impression, it's the addition of playful physical touch that truly strengthens the connection. When you speak from a distance, your words may not have the same impact as when you say something and combine it with a gentle touch. Here are some effective, simple ways you can incorporate physical touch into your interactions in a smooth and non-threatening way. 1. Hands. Look at her hands, then casually reach out and grab her fingers. Saying something playful like, "Oh, nice nails, but I think they'd look even better with pink nail polish." It's a light and playful way to touch her hand while keeping the tone relaxed. 2. Forehead. Gaze at her forehead and casually say, "You have something on your forehead." She'll probably ask, "What?" At that point, you can gently use your fingers to clean it off and say with a smile, "Okay, all clean now." This simple touch helps break the physical barrier in a non-intrusive way. 3. Hair. If she has distinct hair, whether it's curly, straight, or colored, take a moment to comment on it. For example, "Wow, nice color. How did you get it so curly? Is that your natural hair?" Then lightly touch it or ask if you can. Complimenting and touching her hair will make her feel special and more comfortable with you. 4. High five. A very common and non-threatening way to touch a girl is by giving her a high five. Say something like, "You are so cool. Just like me. We'd make an awesome team. Give me a high five." Then give her a gentle high five. This is playful, and if she allows it, she's already letting her guard down. The important thing is that once you've made any form of physical contact, whether it's a high five or a light touch, you're signaling that you're comfortable and confident. If she allows you to touch her, you've already crossed a significant boundary, meaning she's open to more physical interaction later on, like hugging or even kissing, if the conversation continues to go well. Once you've laid the groundwork by having an engaging conversation and building some attraction, asking for her phone number should feel like a natural next step. Here's a good way to go about it. After sharing a meaningful conversation, ease into a transition by telling an interesting or funny story. During your story, you could say something like, "Oh, I just noticed something interesting about you." This piques her curiosity. And when she asks, "What did you notice?" You can keep her intrigued by telling her you'll reveal it after the story is finished. Once the story ends, she's likely to ask again. And that's when you can check the time and say, "Oh, I'm running late. I need to go." At this point, hand her your phone and say, "Here, enter your number. I'll tell you what I noticed. And I've got another interesting story to share with you later." By handing her your phone, you make it easy for her to give you her number. And this gesture shows that you're confident enough to leave the next step in her hands. Additionally, this allows you to confirm that you're getting her real number. If you want to be sure, you can even call her number right then and there to make sure it's correct. If she accidentally gave you the wrong number, she'll likely correct it. However, if she refuses to give you her number at all, it may indicate that you haven't built enough attraction yet. And this is where you need to adjust your approach. In such cases, remain calm and confident. Say something like, "Come on, giddy up. I don't have much time here." If she still refuses, just say a friendly goodbye and walk off. Don't linger or try to convince her. Simply walk away with confidence. The crucial element in getting a woman's phone number is to always provide a clear motive or reason for why she should share it. If you don't have any interesting stories to share, you can come up with other reasons that will make her feel inclined to give you her contact information. For example, you could say, "My friends are having this party on Saturday. It's one of the coolest events of the year, and I have free passes. You should come." Then hand her your phone and say, "Here, punch in your number, and I'll let you know the timing." It's important to avoid just randomly asking for her phone number with a straightforward "Can I have your number?" This often results in rejection or a lukewarm response. Even if you do manage to get her number, She likely won't remember you a few days later because you didn't create enough attraction or leave a lasting impression. When you successfully get her number, don't hang around any longer. The key to maintaining attraction is to exit the venue after you've exchanged numbers. The last thing you want is to stay in the same place and risk undoing the attraction you've built by bumping into her again. Leaving after getting her number ensures you maintain the mystery and keep the tension going, which is crucial in creating lasting interest. Now, imagine this. You've just spent a few minutes with a woman, making her laugh, building attraction, and she's fully engaged. You've smoothly navigated the conversation. You've created that spark. Now, it's time for the final step. You ask for her phone number. You don't just ask. No, you build a story, a reason, a motive that makes her want to hand it to you. She's intrigued, curious, and, most importantly, she's invested in continuing the connection. You hand her your phone, confident but relaxed, and you say, "Here, put your number in. I'll share that story with you later, and trust me, you're going to want to hear it." That's when the magic happens. It's not about the phone number itself. It's about what comes next. When she enters it, she's already imagining the next time you'll talk. The anticipation begins. And now it's on her to make sure the connection doesn't fade. But here's the twist. If she hesitates, if she refuses, don't break a sweat. You've already done your part. There's no pressure. You simply smile. Give her a confident, "All right, it was great meeting you," and walk away. No second guessing. No lingering. You've left the door open, and the ball's in her court now. The key is to never appear desperate because the moment you do, the attraction fades. And that, my friend, is the art of attraction. It's about knowing when to push and when to pull. It's about creating a moment of suspense, leaving her wondering about you long after you've walked away. It's about making her work for your attention and making her miss the connection once you're gone. Before you go, if you found this video helpful and want more tips on mastering the art of attraction, building confidence, and creating lasting connections, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I've got so much more to share, and you don't want to miss out on the next video. So, what are you waiting for? Like, comment, and subscribe, and let's keep building those connections that last. You've got this. See you in the next video.